Hey students, I'm back with some of the new topics in business marketing. So let's grab our knowledge on it. Hey students, I'm back with some of the new topics in business marketing. So let's grab our knowledge in it. Today we will be talking about components of a business model, industrial product strategy, and industrial product policy. So let's start one by one each. So let us understand components of a business model. Before jumping into the components, first let us understand what a business model means. So a business model is a plan for successful operations of a business. When we talk about a business model or a business concept, it's a rationale of how an organization develops some kind of value. A business concept or model consists of four major components: customer interface, or strategy, strategic resources, and value network. These components are tied together by customer benefits, configuration, and company boundaries. So in short, customer benefits, configuration, and company boundaries act as a bridge elements who keep on connecting these four major components: customer interface, core strategy, strategic resources, and value network. Let's look at a diagram. So let us understand components of a business model. Before understanding components of a business model, let us first understand what a business model or a business concept means. A business model or a business concept is a plan for successful operations of business, identifying the sources of revenue, customer base, and details of financing. A business model or a business concept describes the rationale of how an organization creates, delivers, and captures some kind of value in economic, social, and cultural or other contexts. A business concept or model consists of four major components: customer interface, core strategy, strategic resources, and value network. These components are tied together by three important elements: customer benefits, configuration, and company boundaries, which are known as bridge elements because these are the elements which connect customer interface, core strategy, strategic resources, and value network. Now let's look at the diagram. Looking at the diagram, we see that there are four elements of a business model: customer interface, core strategy, strategic resources, and value network. There are three bridge elements: customer benefits, configuration, and company boundaries, which are connecting these four components. Now when we talk about customer interface, we mean that what kind of need we are fulfilling of our customers and what kind of support services we are going to offer them. What kind of information about the product we are going to deliver to the customer, how we are going to maintain the relationships with the customer long lasting such that the customers remain loyal to us, and what will be our pricing structure. When we talk about core strategy, we mean that what will be our business mission. That means what kind of product or service we are going to offer in the market. Who will be our target audience? When we talk about product or market scope, it means who will be our target audience and how we are going to differentiate our products and services from those of customers. Strategic resources: what kind of core competence we will have, that is what will be our USP, by which we can differentiate our products and services from that of competitors, what kind of resources and capabilities, tangible, intangible resources and other capabilities we will have, and what will be our core process. Value network, who will be our suppliers, partners, and what kind of alliance, coalitions means alliance, we will have to formulate or we will formulate for the successful development or launching of our product. Whenever we talk about successful new product development, number one, first we should have a business model on the basis of which we can successfully develop and launch that product, and product strategy. So we already spoke about business model. Now let's talk about industrial product strategy. A product strategy is nothing but a roadmap of a product. So whenever a company wants to develop, formulate or launch a new product, it should formulate industrial product strategy. That is, a company must be very clear in terms of the target market of the product, that is, who will be the target market for its product, so that it can plan the necessary activities to achieve its goals. Any industrial product strategy contains the following things. Number one, a product strategy contains product vision, that is why we are building this product. Number two, customer persona, that is who will be our ideal customer. Number three, product positioning, that is what kind of image our product is going to have in the minds of the customers, or how does our product will fit in the market. Product differentiation, that means how our product will differ from that of other competitors' product. And goals and initiatives, that is what do we want to achieve and how by launching this product. So any industrial product strategy will contain all these things: product vision, ideal customer. Vision means why we are building this product, how we are going to position it, how we are going to differentiate it, and what do we want to achieve, what is our basic objective of launching this product. Now talking about industrial product policy, any product policy will involve a set of decisions regarding the products and services which the company plans to offer. When a company wants to formulate a sound product policy, it should take into consideration the following essential components. Number one, defining the product market. That means it should define the distinct arena in which the business marketer would like to compete. Number two, product line. That means what will be its product line. Example, Bajaj Electrical turns out fans, electric lamps, cables, electric irons, heaters, etc. So line is nothing but a group of products that are closely related with each other. So a sound product policy should also include decisions regarding what kind of product line the company is going to have and in which area the business marketer would like to compete, that is, define its product market. It should also include decisions regarding product mix. Mix is nothing but full list of products which are offered for sale by a company. It should also include decisions regarding how its product is going to be branded, how its product is going to be positioned, that means what kind of image the company is planning to have in the minds of its customers, and what kind of packaging its product would have. So when we talk about product mix refers to consolidated or total view of different product lines and product items in each product line. Say for example, if a company has 10 lines, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4 up to line 10. In line 1, if it is manufacturing soap, line 2 shampoo, line 3 detergent, and so on up to line 10, then the consolidated view of different product lines and items in each product line refers to product mix. When we talk about product width, it refers to largest number of items in each product line. Say for example, if the first line of the company is soap and it manufactures 10 kind of soaps, we can say the width of the company is higher, or the width of the product line of the company is higher. And when we talk about depth of a product mix, it refers to number of product lines. So if a company is manufacturing 15 types of product line, in that case we can say that the depth of the product mix of a company is higher. Now let's understand what is product mix. Product mix is nothing but the total or consolidated view of different product lines and product items in each product line. Say for example, if a company is having 10 product lines, in that case we can say that the depth of a product mix of a company is higher, because depth of a product mix refers to number of product lines a company has. So when a company has 10 kind of product lines, line 1, line 2, line 3 up to line 10, that is soaps, shampoos, detergents, etc., we can say depth of a product mix of a company is higher. And when we talk about width of the product mix, it refers to largest number of product items in each product line. That means, say for example, if a company is manufacturing soap, but 10 kind of soap, we can say that the width of the product mix of a company is higher. And product mix refers to total view of different product lines and items in each product line. So when we talk about product policy decisions, any company would like to take 4 types of product policy decisions. Number 1 is individual product decision. Number 2, product line decision. Number 3, product mix decision. And number 4, product positioning decision. Individual product decisions refers to decisions regarding the products relating to what kind of features or attributes that product is going to have, how the product is going to be branded and what will be its brand name, what kind of packaging the product is going to have, what kind of label the product is going to have, and what kind of support services we are going to offer to this product. Now in product policy, any company would also like to take product line decisions. That is, whether it would like to extend or stretch its existing product line, or whether it would like to fill its product line. Now let's see what is the difference between product line stretching and product line filling. When we talk about product line stretching, it means adding a new product by stretching the product line. Say for example, Samsung mobiles. Samsung is present in smartphones. Samsung mobiles always go for line stretching. That means it has also smartphone present in premium market also, and it has also budget smartphones in lower market also. So this is what is known as product line stretching. Same goes with Parker pens. Mobla pens are for premium market, but when we talk about Parker pen, they have pens for premium market also, and they have stretched its product line for giving pens in down market also. Now what is the benefit of product line stretching? It is helpful for the company That is, it saves the company during bad times. Premium product add good margins in good times, but the down market products, that is mass level product, gives good business during bad times also. So any company has to decide whether how much product line stretching it would like to go for. And when we talk about product line filling, it simply means adding a new product within existing range of products. Product mix decisions. Product mix decisions relate to product mix width, product mix length, product depth, and product consistency. Product mix width means how many products the company is offering, or number of different product lines carried by the company, like line 1 soap, line 2 shampoo, line 3 washing powder, etc. So जितनी number of lines ज़्यादा है उतना हम कह सकते हैं कि product mix width of the company is high. Now product mix length means number of items in each product line. Like for example in soap, if a company is manufacturing 5 kind of soap, so that is its product mix length. Product depth is number of versions offered of each product in the line. Like a company is offering different versions of soap among the 5 soaps it manufactures. Example, in soap 1 with fragrance X, fragrance Y, fragrance Z, etc. So what is product depth? Number of versions offered of each product in the line. That is, a company is offering one product is soap or one product line is soap, so different versions of soap. Out of the 5 soaps that it manufactures, in one kind of soap, if it is offering 3 versions, that is with rose fragrance or chandan fragrance, etc., we can say that is product depth of the company. Product consistency refers to how closely related the various products in end use. Product positioning decision. This is the 4th kind of decision that any company would like to take when it is formulating industrial product policy. That is, how it is going to position its product in the minds of the customers, or what kind of image it would like to have about its product in the mind of the customers. So it is the way by which the marketer communicates the information of the product to the prospective buyer, and through this communication of information, the image in the mind of the customers will be created.